Hello, my name is Dr. Artika Tyner. I'm the author of The Inclusive Leader, Taking Intentional Action for Justice and Equity. This book was published by the American Bar Association. And why did I write this book? It really was an opportunity to answer many of the questions I received time and time again. We can't find diverse talent. What can we do? What's the future of leadership? How do we build a pipeline for success? And those baseline questions, as the world is changing in real time. Our demographics, of course we know, are browning and aging, meaning increased racial diversity and also increasing diversity as it relates to age. What can we do? How do we maximize the benefits of this one time in history where you have a changing racial landscape and also 5 generations in the workplace? I was grateful that people were asking me those questions. What it really meant was the power of what we can create and build together. So I wrote The Inclusive Leader as a blueprint for success, really a framework for action. To answer all those questions, to say there are 4 things that you can do. First, it's tapping into that interpersonal piece. Then it's a part of your own journey related to education. How do we learn more about, for instance, implicit bias? We all have them, but once we identify them, how do we challenge them? How do we unlearn them? And how do we broaden our horizons? And then the intrapersonal piece, that's the second dimension, on how we work together with others. How do we challenge stereotypes? How do we challenge microaggressions, for example? Because if we're going to build a team, we have to build teams where everyone can thrive. And what does that require? Access to opportunities and tapping into human capital in real time. The third dimension, of course, is organizational. Because oftentimes we think that change will happen on the wheels of inevitability. But change happens because you and I, we make the investment. We decide to make a change. We live it, we breathe it. But it also means that we have to create the policies, the procedures, and the strategic action, meaning really prioritizing diversity, equity, and inclusion. And why do I say that? Because oftentimes I go into an organization and they show me all of their signage. They show me their most recent strategic plan. But they don't show me the actual infrastructure that will allow all talent, not some, to thrive in real time. And that goes directly to one point that I hear time and time again. I've lectured all over the world. I've served as a CDO. I've served as a vice president of diversity, equity, and inclusion. What can we really do? It means that we have to make an investment related to change. And what does that look like as an organization? It means that we have to be intentional in what we're doing in real time. It means that we have to set metrics and measure our success. Because once again, change requires action and commitment. So last but not least, the 4th dimension of my work is related to what we can do as a society. That we have the power right now to build a more just and inclusive society. But that takes a commitment of you and I in making the determination that we're going to make the investment of time, talent, and resources. But we're tempted to answer in one particular way, and thinking that there's a dichotomy. We either have to choose fear or faith. I hope we choose the latter. And when I'm talking about the ladder of faith, I'm not talking about it in a religious sense or something sentimental. I'm talking about the faith in you and I and what we can build together, combining our talent, resources, gifts, and talents and strengths to create better business outcomes, to create more solutions to the complex social issues that we face today. We can do that. And we do that by unleashing the power of diversity, equity, and inclusion. And we do that by taking intentional action for justice and equity. Thank you.